The overwhelming majority of Canada's public accounting firms are very small. In 2024, according to Industry Canada, there were 18,864 accounting firms with annual revenue up to $20 million. According to CPA Canada's 2019 benchmarking study, there were approximately 18,000 CPA firms at the time, which aligns reasonably with Industry Canada's numbers. In the CPA Canada study, 78.4% of firms self-reported as either sole practitioners or two-partner firms. For some reason, Industry Canada doesn't report on the 20 or so largest firms. We can only assume that this is for privacy reasons. The industry has continued to grow, increasing by 7.3% in 2024 from the previous year. Like the small CPA firms that provide tax and compilation services to our smallest businesses, the vast majority of businesses in Canada, and the US for that matter, are micro-businesses with fewer than 20 staff. That doesn't include about 1.9 million self-employed Canadians working on their own account as contractors and gig workers. A great many of these micro-businesses, contractors and gig workers rely on these sole practitioners and two-partner firms to do their tax filings and prepare rudimentary financial statements for them. Statistics Canada publishes a report on the accounting services industry each year. The most recent report for 2024 contains the following quote: "The accounting, tax preparation, bookkeeping, and payroll services industry remained relatively concentrated in 2024, with the top 10 firms accounting for almost half, 45%, of total operating revenue. However, the industry is even more top-heavy than that report suggests. According to the transparency reports these firms are required to file each year, the Big Four firms together earned fully 34.7% of industry revenue. Most observers would agree that there are only about 150 or so firms with more than 100 employees. The 18,000 or so small CPA firms with fewer than 100 employees perform tax preparation and financial statement compilations almost exclusively. In order to do this effectively, usually without benefit of entry-level staff, they need to perform a kind of ad hoc systems design that just isn't part of what large firms do. The four largest firms are significantly different than their much smaller cousins. Tax and compilation work probably represents less than a quarter of what they do. Deloitte earns more than 50% of its revenue from management consulting, which isn't really a core accounting competence at all. The remaining third of Big Four firm revenue is made up of audits, which aren't generally done for very small businesses. Perhaps we should question why the largest firms should have so much influence when it comes to setting competency requirements for the profession. If we considered an analogy in the medical profession, it would amount to giving heart surgeons and psychiatrists control when determining the competencies of family practitioners.